and today I'm going to be talking about the scariest moments of my life. And I'm not saying that these are just like weird moments of my life. I'm talking about scariest moments of my life. I don't know where to begin, but I know that my sister should stop. Sit down, please, or lay down. It's nice. Very nice. Anyways, so my friend and I shouldn't say friend, my best friend and I, we were walking to her neighbor's dock. And so my best friend, she has this like lake, pond kind of area in her backyard. I was spending the night at her house, and this was like a year ago, and it was winter time. I get comfy here. So we were walking around, and we were just playing on the sleds in our snowsuits, and gloves always fell off. We got some bumps and bruises going down the stairs, and it was just a real good time. So what we did is that we were walking to our neighbor's house to go on the dock, because it was like not pure ice over there where it was, but it was nice enough to like just jump on and throw rocks at. And her neighbor didn't care that we were allowed on her dock. She just let us on there, and she was fine with it. They had this son or something. They have this boy, their son. And I wouldn't say he's like weird. I'm saying he's mega weird. So there was like tracks coming from their pool, and it's too cold to go swimming, of course. So we went around the fence. She has this fence that divides her and her neighbor's house. This is her, there's their neighbors. We walked around this way to go around into her dock, even though the dock is right there. So we just decided to take the longer way. I guess we just went around and then swerved. And so while we were walking there, we saw these like tracks, and we thought they were duck tracks, but the duck tracks would be tinier. These were like human-sized tracks, so we thought they were Bigfoot. But then we realized Bigfoot didn't exist. Then we realized that they looked like scuba diver tracks, because we had this app where we took a picture of it and it would translate to what that object was. And it was scuba diver tracks. So you're like, okay, why is there scuba diver tracks in the yard going from the pool to the lake? So we were a little concerned. And then we see like this pair of goggles. It was just the most scariest time ever. And then when we went running back up to the house, we heard a big splash and saw someone like running out of the water. That was the most scariest thing ever during the winter, and we are not going near the pond in the wintertime ever again, only in the daytime. Like, it was that scary. The next story is over there. The next story is that my friend and I, we were the same girl from the last story. So we were playing outside. We were like, this was also like maybe like last year, in the same time range as the last story was, but there was snow on the ground in the last story. This time there was like very little snow, but hey, you mind? So there was like very little snow on the ground. It was kind of muddy, and what we were doing is that I think we were just walking around the yard, down the road and stuff. And you know how the killer clown stories have been going around and stuff? Well, we were walking around, and it was dark time. We just got out. We went outside after having my friend's grandma's chili that she made. It was really spicy, huh? Yeah, you weren't there, but you know what spicy chili tastes like. So we had white chicken bean chili. And so we went outside after that, and she said, make sure you have your coats on and stuff, and yada, yada, yada. So we did. And we were playing, like, I don't know what we were playing. We were playing, like, Kidnap or something. We were playing Kidnap or something. And, it was just really fun. And then we see this, like, hi. And then we see this light. So I like what I said from the first day. She has this lake, pond, area in her backyard. So she has two neighbors. A neighbor over, well, actually, four. One across the pond, another one across the pond, and then one next to her, and another one next to her, the weird guy. Okay. And so we went over to her neighbor over here. She had lights, like those nighttime lights that work when it's dark. She had those lights around her dock, but they don't work. And then her neighbor had lights around her dock, but they didn't work. They were old and broke and stuff. And so there was this light in front of us, like those nighttime lights. Yeah, like those nighttime lights. And we just saw it there. There was nobody around. It was just us outside on her dock. But my best friend, she doesn't have a dock that goes onto the lake. She always uses her neighbor's docks to go swimming or on a boat ride or something. So what we did was that we were like, okay, maybe someone just put a light there on accident or on purpose or something. And it was not a night light. We saw the light go on and off and on and off and on and off. And like I said in the beginning of the story about the killer clown thing, the lights was going on and off, and it was just one light. And then we went inside, told my friend's grandparents, and they were like, oh, it's probably just the neighbors pulling a trick on you or something. Her neighbors weren't home. Like, none of her neighbors were home. And the only neighbors that would not pull a prank on us would be the ones across the street. But they don't have a boat to go across the pond. They haven't gotten their boat until, like, this year. So what we should have done is not go off the deck. We went off the deck to pick up the toys, and that was it. Like, we ran right up there because we heard, like, flickering like a flashlight noise would. Hey. And hold on. So, like I said, they were like, it was just sounded like a flashlight noise was going off and on, and it was just, stop. It was just really, really scary. And so, here, play with that. So, we heard, like, the noise on and off and on and off. So we ran up to the deck and told my friend's grandparents again. They were like, oh, just go play outside. I'm sure it's just Kendra or her neighbor or someone just playing a prank on you. So we were like, okay. They just told us to stay on the dock, so I guess we stay outside. My friend told me that we should say, what do you want, and see what happens. So the light was on when we went back out there. And I said, what do you want? Like, I screamed out. Like, the whole neighborhood could hear me. And she lives out in the country. So I screamed out, hey, what do you want? And then the light just immediately shut off. Like, that was the most scariest thing ever. It just immediately shut off. And we ran inside, and we screamed, and then we tried to calm down. And the grandparents went out there, and the light wasn't out there. So when they went back inside, we played outside again on the deck of our house. And we made sure that nothing would happen. And then when I screamed, hey, where are you? What do you want? The light was in the middle of her yard. Like, her yard is like, it's big. Like, the pond's here, here's her house. She has like a lot of land. And it was like square, middle of the yard, like probably a quarter mile, like quarter feet away from the house. So we screamed, "What do you want?" And then the light shut off again, and then it came going on and off. Went back inside, screamed, calmed down, asked for the grandparents. They saw nothing. So when we went out there again, the light was back at the pond. We don't know what it was, but then the next morning, we woke up, went out there, got our stuff on, and there was some snow on the ground. And then they had a blue like paddle boat that you use your feet on in the backyard. So we lifted that up, and there was no one there, thank God, but there was like 5 baby mice. So we played with the baby mice for a bit, and then we went back, and then I stepped in something that was bigger than my feet. And I wear a woman's 11-inch shoes. This was like, my feet are like this big on camera. I know it's even small, but it's pretty big in my point of view. These feet were like that big, like a giant man size. Yeah, like a giant man size. And after we've been hearing like killer clowns in Michigan, we were just starting to freak out. Like, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know if like killer clowns were coming back, and I heard in 2018 that they were coming back, or they weren't coming back, but it was like at 95% they were coming back. So I was just, it was just, ew, I don't know how to explain it. We were thinking it was a killer clown that night. And just weird stuff happens like all the time. I spend the night before my best friend's birthday parties. Hey, no. It was just the most scariest thing ever. I hope that we never have to go through that again. And if we do, next time we are definitely calling the cops. We are definitely calling the cops next time we experience that again. And because I do not want to go through that again and put my friend in danger, and she doesn't want to put me in danger. So we're just calling the cops again. We're going to keep our phones on us at all times when we go play out in the yard at night. It was just really scary. This is the last story because I don't want to waste too much memory in my camera for the live stream. But the last story is also really scary as well. So my friend, the same girl, all these scary moments happen. I might have another story after this one because I have another really good story. But so my friend, she used to have this swing set that we played on all the time, and this was like 3 years ago. There was like this rumor that people saw a little ghost girl kind of running around, and this is a quick story. We were pretending that the ghost girl was alive and she was our friend and stuff. And yeah. And anyways, so we were playing, and we just like left the swing set alone and stuff. And we were just like sitting on the deck, eating a popsicle. Life was great for us 6-year-olds. You're welcome. So we were just like, hey, let's go out and see if we can communicate with the ghost girl. So it was just really, really weird that we wanted to do such thing. And I don't know why she's bringing me all this stuff. She's tired. Hey! No, that doesn't go in your eye. It doesn't go in your nose. It doesn't go in your mouth. It goes on paper. Here. Put it on a piece of paper. There you go. So, where was I? So we were like, okay, so let's communicate with the ghost girl. And we went inside to make an imaginary ghost communicator. She had lots of boxes downstairs. And then when we went outside, we saw this like black-haired, pinkish, whitish dress girl outside. We were like, it's probably just the neighbor's daughter pulling a prank on us after the like ghost communicator kind of thing. So what we I don't remember what we did. This was like 6 years ago. What we did, hey. What we did was that we were like, hey, and then turned around and there was just still black hair in front of the face. Then we went inside and we still finished on our ghost communicator box. And stop it. And nothing. Like, and then we see the swing moving by itself, and it was not windy. It was just a sunny, cool, non-breezy, windy day. And it was just really scary. And then we never played on the swings again. Like, we immediately asked her grandpa to like burn the swings, and we never heard from the ghost girl again. So yeah. And now the last story is my grandmother used to live at a haunted apartment, and we heard all our names being called, and yeah, it was stop. And it was just really scary. So we were like, okay, let's just move out, because we just kept hearing ghost stuff. That one was actually pretty quick. I have to wrap this up. Take care of the. Hey, you want a popsicle? You want a bite? Pick all this up. You want a bite? Out of this. Okay, I thought she had glitter in her mouth. Well, I hope you enjoyed this live stream of me talking about the scariest moments of my life. And I might do a part 2 to this on more ghost stories yet to come. So, bye-bye.